Dave Hirschman, AOPA pilot.
Christian von Kessel, CEO, Scalewings Aircraft.
And we're here in Fredericksburg, Texas to take a really close look at the Scalewings SW-51, this scaled, all carbon fiber kit plane.
AOPA keeps flying safe, accessible, and fun by protecting your freedom to fly. We are the most trusted one-stop resource for all things related to general aviation. Become an AOPA pilot today. Thanks to Hartzell for sponsoring this video. Hartzell carbon fiber propellers are stronger, lighter, and faster. AOPA members receive a $1,000 discount.
You're a German company. How did you decide to build this very American iconic airplane? What was your decision there?
So we did an online survey of what would be the most popular warbird of all times, and the P-51 won that poll by a big margin, which is why we started with that one. And it's like globally still referred to as, you know, the most iconic warbird of all times as well.
Right.
So.
And how did you decide which engine to use, what size to make it, and how did you give it these sort of sport plane flying characteristics that you wanted?
Right, so we analyzed the market a lot on what other replica P-51 or warbird productions were out there. And we wanted to do it a little different in a sense that we wanted to use the most advanced technologies available today in terms of avionics and engine, as well as ballistic parachute, to check some boxes that this aircraft can compete with a modern utility aircraft like a Cirrus, for example, in many aspects. It has 2 seats less, but you know, it's got a turbocharged, fader-controlled engine. It's got the ballistic parachute. The avionics is all Garmin, so it's a complete glass cockpit by Garmin with a G5 backup, G3X 10-inch screen. We got the Garmin autopilot, even IFR capability in the new Platinum package. So yeah, the philosophy was to use the most advanced sort of systems that we can source and then put them into an aircraft that also represents the unique looks of the P-51 and wrap that together into a product that had never existed before.
And where is this airplane built? And tell me about the Builder Assist program.
Mm-hmm. So we have a factory in Poland. There's a region called the Aviation Valley, which is one of the world's largest aerospace industry clusters, east of Krakow. It's a custom-made build assist program that helps the customer go through the 51% build requirement under a supervised guidance, which means they don't have to be prepared. We give them manuals already to review before they show up, but all the tools are laid out, all the work is laid out. You know, and the same guys that have been involved in building these aircraft for many years are their personal supervisors and coaches, helping them to get through the build effectively with a guaranteed success rate. And it's a hugely sort of satisfying and stress-free, frustration-free experience, because you have a guaranteed end result. You know the quality is going to be. It's just super fun.
Right. And how many kits have been delivered, and how many airplanes are flying?
So in total, we have sold 47. We have manufactured 27, and about 10 of them are in flying condition. The reason is that many of the earlier generations were kits that are still under construction with amateur builders in their garage or hangars, and the ones that have gone through the Build Assist program, there's 10 of them.
The last thing I'll ask about is price. What does it cost to get a kit or to participate in the Builder Assist program?
Right, so most right now are these ready-to-fly versions that we call that go through the Build Assist program. It starts at about $470,000 for the Build Assist program Mustang in a more basic configuration with a silver avionics package. Most people configure it these days in the gold or platinum package, which is the 10-inch Garmin G3X, and in platinum also the IFR capability with the 375 Navigator from Garmin, and then you're in the range between 550 to 570 US, including the Build Assist program.
Nice. Well, good luck with the project. It's a very exciting program.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
So I just recently had the unforgettable experience to fly this Thunderbird painted SW-51. And it was my first flight in an SW-51, and I gotta say, it was pretty spectacular. My impressions of the airplane afterward, it's an exceptional sport plane. It's a little bit deceptive in that it looks like a warbird, but it flies like a very responsive, very agile sport plane, and not so much like a warbird. You know, the warbirds are a little bit quirky. They have a lot of individual character. In the case of the Mustang, it's got some very sort of dark corners of the envelope and some pretty wicked stall and departure characteristics. The SW-51 is not that way. It feels more like a very agile, responsive sport plane. It's reminiscent of an RV. My personal airplane is an RV-4. And in a lot of ways, this one sort of feels similar from a pilot standpoint. It's got modern technology in the avionics with a Garmin G3X. It's got a sort of tight F1 Formula sports race car sort of feel to the cockpit. The ergonomics are beautiful. It's not a huge cockpit. It's light on the controls. When there's a person in the back seat, it's very light in pitch. When it's flown solo, it's quite beautifully balanced. In the approach and landing phase, it's very stable and provides excellent visibility on approach with that narrow nose. And what I loved about it in the landing regime was that it's got this very wide gear and a very firm feel to the shock absorbing system, so that when you touch down on the main gear, it's very positive. You get a nice firm feel. It's very wide and stable. You will not be able to see forward in the once the tail wheel is on the ground. But a very exciting, very agile, very fun airplane to fly that feels like a sport plane. It looks like a warbird, flies like a sport plane. The start is computer controlled with a FADEC managed Rotax 916, 160 horsepower liquid cooled engine, 4-blade MT constant speed prop. The takeoff roll is it's got pretty rapid acceleration, very manageable with quite an authoritative rudder. You just hold a tail low attitude, the airplane flies itself off the ground. Usually you take off with about 1 notch of flaps. When you get the landing gear up, the flaps up, climb speed is typically about 90 knots. You can go a little faster to improve your forward visibility if you don't want to climb that steeply. Slow flight is quite stable. Stall speed is below 60 knots, whether the flaps are up or down if in an unaccelerated stall. The roll rate is quite crisp. It's more than 90 degrees per second. I'd guess about 120 degrees per second. It's got doing aileron rolls, it takes about 3 seconds to complete a aileron roll with full aileron deflection. It's a fuel-injected engine, so the engine doesn't quit at 0 Gs or negative Gs, but there's no inverted oil system, so you don't want to do sustained negative G maneuvers. But sort of positive G maneuvers are terrific. Lots of energy for rolling maneuvers, rolls, barrel rolls. Didn't really try many over-the-top maneuvers, but like loops or half Cubans. But I'm sure at a light weight especially, it would do those just fine. It's stressed for +6 and -4 Gs, so it's in the aerobatic category when flown solo, and it's in the utility category when flown with 2 people aboard. The gear is electric. It's quite quick. It's about 3 seconds from down to up. You can see these big wide flaps that are just the same in their proportions as the regular P-51. And same with the ailerons, also proportional to the P-51. But since the airplane is just a fraction of the weight, the roll rate is substantially higher. A real joy to fly. The ground handling is quite well behaved. The only, I was doing 2-point or wheel landings, and as the tail comes down, the rudder has a little bit of a tendency to get blanked by those large flaps, and so there's a moment as the tail is coming down to contact the runway where there's a little bit of sort of, am I driving on ice feeling, but once the tail wheel is down, you get full back stick, weight on the tail wheel. It's a pneumatic, inflatable tail wheel, so the ride is really soft. So this airplane obviously has the look of a warbird. It has the feel of a sport plane, but when it flies with others of its kind, when it flies with these other SW-51s, it is really soul-stirring and inspiring because, you know, it just creates the feeling of, you know, these beautifully tailored, iconic Mustangs flying together. And they do so with great modern technology, with, you know, modern panels and a whole airframe parachute. And they're just a really interesting, inspiring sort of airplane.